To me, art is the best mirror. It lets us see most accurately what it is to be a human right now. I work with debris as my primary material to create art. I've worked with it for 15 years now and see no end in sight. I love it for creating art. Debris has so much poetry and tension in it. It's this poetry and tension that drives me to action. Junk mail, like a lot of other debris we humans create, is particularly disconcerting to me. Junk mail constantly morphs and adapts to us, emulating our habits, behaviors, and preferences. Even after we unsubscribe ourselves from mailing lists, it finds us. After my daughter was born, baby catalogs just started showing up, even though I had a home birth and hadn't made any related purchases. We call it junk mail because we think of it as worthless. But I see preciousness in its seemingly infinite variation. The colors, textures, fancy foils, embossed surfaces, official-looking envelopes with our name on them and fake credit cards. This all represents valuable resources squandered. I'm interested in creating value with this material that is not based on scarcity, rather artistic transformation. For so long, so many of us have been trapped in the tyranny of the moment, rushing to meet deadlines or beat traffic. To reboot our brains, these subtle processors that work within us through a sort of collective effervescence that is human consciousness. Perhaps this resetting of our preferences will allow us to reprioritize so that we do less harm. Turning garbage into art feels like turning a lie into a truth. My work with debris helps me strike and find balance between opposing forces. It is dancing with oppositions, creating unexpected connections that reveal something. This piece started with an old plastic hard hat that my husband found on the side of the road for me. I cleaned it, then welded debris to it to give it a new life as a wearable sculpture. Through my artwork, I was able to give that old hard hat a fresh chance. But we each get a fresh chance every day to balance the darkness and light. I try to love that which I hate, which ultimately leaves me only with love. It's like a moral vaccine. When I'm sewing debris, I look for unions and parallels, ways to create visual and conceptual harmony. It satisfies creative urges in me that are similar to darning a loved one's sock or mending an old tattered quilt. While we've been busy living, plastic debris has been accumulating in our wake. It's a formidable accumulation. I don't think that most people realize that only about 9% of all the plastics created to date have actually been recycled, or that a plastic bottle like this is estimated to last about 450 years. By now, microplastics and fibers have found their way into all of our drinking water, both bottled and tap. They're even being found as particulates in the air we breathe. To help prevent more toxic plastic waste from clogging the arteries of this planet, I explore the virtual indestructibility of this material. Like junk mail, plastic has been produced in a seemingly infinite array of colors and shapes, and it offers itself up to us freely for creative transformation. Plus, people tend to think of it as disposable, when it's exactly the opposite. I only work with promiscuous plastics, the plastics that have been around. Sometimes I use an ultrasonic welder. It's a machine that's designed for welding virgin plastics, but it's ideal for welding thin-gauge plastic debris like this. These tiny little dots indicate the point of the welded connection. I love that it's a quick, quiet process of assemblage, and it works so well on so many different types of plastics, even materials that are mixed chemical compositions and can't easily be recycled like CDs. For certain types of plastic debris, I use an inject welder, which is sort of like a MIG welder meets a hot glue gun. It's designed to weld plastics as thick as a ½ inch, which makes it fantastic for welding large-scale pieces for outdoor applications with more structural integrity. It has been 15 years since my dance with debris began. Every day I try to balance my love and hate for these bits of displaced abundance. Nature's just not a good place for man-made debris. I love bringing together these items and imbuing them with a new sense of purpose, a purpose that is future-friendly.